The button has been hit. We're live. Hey.
Hello.
Hello, Internet.
Live
Happy
from my
Tuesday.
chair.
Live from Jason's chair. We're all streaming from Jason's chair today. You just can't see due to a very complicated series of camera tricks that makes it look like we are in 5 different locations. We're not. We're all sharing one chair today. It's very uncomfortable. Please donate bits so that we can afford more chairs.
We need your bits for more chairs.
As I was already saying before stream, judging for the way we're dressed, we're all just various stages of the same guy.
Yep.
So it all fits that we're sharing a chair.
Okay, so let's jump into this. Some housekeeping business. It's been a while since we've actually played D&D on a Tuesday, due to all sorts of forces outside of any of our control. We've been unable to wrangle up a full cast from either group for the last several weeks. But we're back today with some Dungeons & Dragons. We, of course, have with us the original, the OG group. We have I almost said the Penetrators. We have we have the Fool's Errant with us tonight. So, before we jump into what they're... And he's out of his seat again.
I'm not out of
my
my
seat. He can't be
Sit down.
stopped.
He's like a
Sit down.
misbehaving third grader. We can't go to recess until Jason's in his seat.
Sit on your hands. Sit on your hands.
We would have started the stream like 4 minutes earlier than we did, except we had to wait for Jason to get back from whatever mystery activity he was doing off the frame. Anyway, so let's before we jump into the recap, let's take care of some housekeeping business. I want to first give a shout out to the sponsors of tonight's stream: Cardboard Castle Games and Little Dragon Corp. You can type !CCG. No, is that right? No, that's wrong. CGC. CGC.
He'll get it.
Shit.
No,
I was doing-
it's CCG.
Okay.
Cardboard
Oh, I was right the
Castle
first. I psyched myself
Yes.
out. I've been doing so good for so many weeks.
Yeah,
It's all right.
Dang it. I want the super cut of me screwing up the sponsor read. So, there they are. Exclamation point CCG for Cardboard Castle and exclamation point Little Dragon for Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon
Find
Corp,
out
of course. What?
Said we'll find out together.
Little Dragon Corp, of course, is a Canadian-based dice company providing all manner of beautiful, fantastic, which reminds me I need my own dice, polyhedral dice for all of your tabletop gaming needs. You can use our code at checkout if you buy anything on their online shop. Our code is PROBONUS, and you'll receive a 10% discount on your order because we sent you. And Cardboard Castle is a brick and mortar gaming store located in the United States in Evans, Georgia. If you're local, go and check them out. Say hello. If you're not, don't worry. They have a robust website that you can browse for all of your tabletop gaming needs as everybody starts getting their vaccinations and things are going back to normal and you can see your friends again. Maybe pick up a new game or two to play at your upcoming game night. Because we all know that you've been doing the responsible thing and not having your game night for the past year. Right? Kevin? I like to think there's one person out there named Kevin.
You never, Kevin.
Before, let's jump into the recap. Actually, there's a new segment that I want to do. This new segment, this may be a one and done segment. We'll see how this goes in the future. But this new segment is called Things from Our Internal Discord Presented Without Context. And this is a segment where I read something from our internal Discord with no context. And today's installment of Presented with No Context,
I'm afraid.
the following. I think there's 2 babies this year. It's hard to tell. Can't set up a webcam in the off season? No. I'm not some sort of a bird pervert, Jason. This has been an installment of Presented Without Context. Thank you for joining us. And
We're going to need like masterpiece theater music to
Yeah.
do this segment.
I should get it.
properly.
I should get a
But
fancy.
like with a discordant violin or something. Like this is just like it's just a little bit wrong.
So that has been presented without context, and now for the recap. It's been a few weeks, so to refresh all of our collective memories, the party is currently in the Volandan city of Volrenheim, which is the city in which party member Bram spent a good deal of his childhood after being sort of rescued / smuggled across the border of the Empire by two individuals by the names of Reynard and Isengrim, who currently run a sort of tavern / music establishment in here in Volrenheim, but have a sort of a checkered past of running the border and opposing the Empire's rule from both within and from without. We learned that Bram had sort of spent a good portion of his youth falling in with somewhat of a rough crowd that would eventually lead him to the organization, the Brotherhood of Artanis, before he parted ways with them on less than pleasant terms in more recent years. An individual by the name of Garl the Rat King, sort of a slumlord in a portion of Volrenheim known as the Scab, is responsible for a lot of the less than savory experiences of Bram's childhood. The true purpose of your original visit here was for business for the Ordinum Libri. You're here hunting down rumors of a particularly rare tome, a treatise on the properties of translocative magic. Specific volume of that set of books that the Ordinum Libri does not have in its vast library and is very interested in acquiring. It was rumored to have been transited here to Volrenheim by a private seller with the intention of selling it off at an auction house to another private collector. The ongoing sort of rivalry between the Ordinum Libri and those that would maintain private collections of lore and arcana and relics of the past, being something ever at odds with one another. The group of you tracked the item in question from the docks to a fairly reputable auction house here in Volandan, in sort of the kind of uptown, higher quality, higher end segment of the city, a auction house by the name of Bowker, Codwell and Sweet. From there, you have tracked the sale of the item, though the employees of Bowker, Codwell and Sweet auction house were not able to provide you information that was confidential about their clients. A very nosy, sort of curmudgeonly patron of the house was able to provide you with a little bit of gossip on the grounds that she has an ongoing feud or an active dislike of the person that she knows purchased the item that you are in search of. The book you have discovered was purchased by a sort of a young elven high society noble by the name of Vatoris Willow Song, who lives here in Hightown. You learned from this woman that, at least in her estimation, Willow Song is he's sort of the son of a rich dignitary from the Ignean Empire. He maintains his basically his sort of summer home here in Volrenheim, and she believes him to be the type of individual who is participating in these types of auctions for the status of throwing money around and acquiring rare and interesting items just for the sort of the sake of flexing his wealth, as opposed to any real interest in the items themselves. She has a particularly low opinion of the gentleman. So she was able to give you the information on where you can find the estate here of Willow Song family, also in Hightown, not too far from where the auction house is. So you have that lead that you are working on with the book. You did make contact with Garl the Rat King, and had a bit of a conversation about what his goings on in the city are. You guys are looking for more information, if you can find it, on the Brotherhood of Artanis. Though Bram left his meeting with Garl by stealing an iconic signet ring that he had always worn in his hand from him, which it seems allowed him to bend the will of rats within a certain area of himself to kind of do his bidding. Upon taking that ring, Bram used some magics of his own to convince the rats in the area to turn on their former master, and the group of you left that region in the scab to the sort of fading screams of Garl the Rat King as his rats attacked him and devoured him alive. You have some information gained from Garl that Bram is kind of hoping to leverage to your advantage, as Garl himself was kind of put out of the picture. You have the name of an individual who is sort of a kind of a rival slumlord that had been stepping towards Garl's territory, an individual by the name of Lemuel. You know where to find him in the scab, and the plan, I believe, was at some point to track down this Lemuel, and figuring one slumlord is probably as good as another, see if you can pump him perhaps for information about the Brotherhood of Artanis before dealing with him in whatever way you see fit. So that is everything that you guys have done since coming to the city. You did also have a conversation with Reynard Isengrim at the Twilight Royale, their establishment, where they gave Bram a ancient scroll tube containing a piece of parchment with a bit of sheet music on it, and sort of a cryptic bit of information that, like, they too somehow are intertwined in this ongoing saga that seems to be being orchestrated by all of your dear friends. As I draw a blank on the name of the first NPC you guys ever met in the game.
Tori and Adrian.
Tori and
Tori and
Adrian.
Adrian.
Yes.
Hey, look who remembered a name for once.
Russell remembered a name.
Yep. He said it wrong for 55 episodes in a row, so
Who
Possible.
knows? So that is where you guys are. When we ended our session, you guys were. I'll switch over for the chat. I'll switch over to the map of the city if I have it. You guys are in the upper sort of plateaued portion. You had to take those big lifts to get up to the top of it. The segment of the city known as Hightown. You guys had just left the auction house of Bowker, Codwell, and Sweet. It is kind of towards late afternoon in the day at this point, and the plans for your next move are in your hands.
So are we planning to just walk up to this place and say, hey, we'd like to purchase your book.
That sounds like a good idea. Why not?
With what money?
I believe we were given a sum of money to purchase the book with, correct?
If you give me a second, I can probably muster up 10 gold. No, never mind.
Ozrius entreats the god of Twitch chat. Keeps finding money.
If you give me some moments, I could probably find another 5 gold. I'm at 14 right now. I just keep finding gold.
I'm gonna assume that if some rich prick bought it, he probably bought it for a stupid amount of money and is probably not willing to sell it.
Yeah, I'm.
Can a fist fix this problem?
Could, or we could go the more subtle route of just a little bit of second story work.
Fine.
Or
Unless
I put my hand on Ozrius as close as his shoulder as I can get to. How tall is Ozrius?
I'm almost 7 foot, I think.
Okay, Bram is like 6'3", so I can.
Okay, we're not bad. We're not bad.
And I go.
I'm 7'5", yeah.
it's kind of like when you see that picture of like The Rock next to Shaq.
Yeah.
They're both huge in their own right, but when you see them together, you're like, damn.
Or heist.
I don't know if you see me lately, but I'm not exactly the sneakiest or quietest person in this group. Look at me.
Then knock on their front door and hold their attention.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Call it distraction.
Okay, fine. I could do that. You point, and I'll go.
We're gonna fold Jason fold Walter up inside a cart and roll him in there. And he gets out of there.
Lightning bolt the cart.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you.
Bram, exactly how many heists have you planned?
332.
Good enough for me. I like those
Made up
numbers.
number.
How many?
Also, at least half of those were in this specific city.
I was about to say, how many of those were successes? Can you give me a number crunch?
Just shut up, Ozrius. Why don't you do
All
some
right.
math, Rockman?
All right. So step one, let's case the joint. Do a nice little walk past. We'll get an idea if there's any, strong security. There's no time crunch on this. I mean, sooner is better, but we don't need to, it's not, we have to do it now.
Hey, Bram, that rat over there has been staring at you, waiting for something for the last 10 minutes.
Don't worry about it.
Got a crazy look in its eye. Can we name him?
His name is Terrence. He has a name already. You can't just
Oh
name,
shoot!
You
Okay.
can just name things like.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't speak rat here.
Well, you
Hi,
could have
Terrence.
fooled me.
Makes no sense in this context. Okay, let's go. Let's case out the effing joint.
All right. If you have a deal with rats, maybe they can kind of sneak in too.
Yes, Walter, that is the plan. The plan is to use the rats.
You didn't tell anybody that plan.
That's it's news
The
to
plan
me.
was let's go case the joint. I figured when we got there, I'd go, hey, let me call some rats.
I didn't. You can't. We can't assume that. It's just we're a group here. We have to talk collectively.
You got any other suggestions other than the rats, then?
Aelar at this point has left the group, and when he turns the corner, he's cast disguise self, and he's gonna head there and start and do a casual walk past it, begin a reconnoiter.
Alrighty, make an investigation check for me.
Right?
I got nothing to help in this situation. It's fine.
So that is a 17.
17. Aelar, you disguise yourself to camouflage your appearance, and you move away from the rapidly heating up argument about the usefulness of rats in heist-style capers. And as you kind of separate yourself from the group, you make your way following the directions that you were given at Valkyr Codwell and Suite towards the Willowsong Estate. It is only a few blocks down from where the auction house is. You kind of stroll into a portion of the. Be able to point anywhere near it. If you look on the stream there, you can see there's sort of that rounded central. There's like a large plaza, like a fountain in it. You're kind of working your way around that a little bit, and you enter into this portion that is a lot of sort of larger kind of estates with land to them. So the streets are very wide and sort of sweeping and flowing across the kind of gently sloped topography here. There's a lot of trees and greenery and these like large fancy houses set well back behind, many of them behind like fenced in areas. You head towards the Willowsong Estate. And the Willowsong Estate is, unlike some of the others, does not have a large fence around it. It's not a massive estate in comparison to the others. It is still an extremely large, well-to-do manor house. It has a full guest house / servants' house, a full set of stables of its very own there. There is a long carriage drive leading up towards the house that ends in like a looped circle, in the center of which is a very well tended sort of garden with a massive topiary in the very center of it that has been trimmed to take the shape of a sort of a kind of androgynous humanoid form that seems to be sort of poised in this almost whether it's dancing or fighting or there's just it's sort of the movement is very evident in this topiary. The other thing that immediately strikes your attention is that there are a whole bunch of carts and caravans, all like kind of parked around this front drive, and there are dozens of who appear to be hired like workmen, just in sort of everyday plain clothing, that are in the process of like moving a lot of stuff out of the house and loading them into these carts. Trunks, bureaus, wardrobes, things in like cases and stuff. Not necessarily like there is some like furniture coming out, but it's not there's not like massive beds being moved out. It doesn't look like the house is being emptied necessarily, so much as it looks like belongings and personal effects of somebody who travels with like more shit than you have possibly ever owned in your life is like loading onto these wagons.
Mentally, Aelar starts cursing in Draconic. And he'll casually go past, come back around, and probably find the three still arguing about the merits of rodents in capers.
So Walter or Aelar comes back around the corner. You guys see him like kind of scoping out the place.
So, remember what I said about us having plenty of time? I was wrong. It looks like they're getting ready to leave.
Looting an empty house is easy?
Not if the thing that we're looking for is among the things that's getting taken back.
Got a point.
What did you think? They're just gonna leave an expensive book behind?
Well, I mean, some rich people are really stupid, but we can't count on them being that stupid.
This may work in our favor though, because stealing a wagon, stuff from a wagon, is probably easier than breaking into a house.
Also, pretending to be one of the workmen to get in there and pilfer a single book, relatively easy. 3 of us can easily disguise ourselves.
Bram, do you know
More to
anybody
the
that can
point,
make
Ozrius can do the other favor that we were asked for.
You can cause
In addition
distraction.
to being distraction and property damage.
Oh yeah, let me distract.
Yeah, that
first.
lady did say if you guys could break something on the way out, that'd be great.
I could break something on the way in and out.
Just
That's
like
fine.
how Ozrius was born.
Oh no.
No.
So what are you doing? What do you want me to do? You point, I'll go.
Okay.
Punch that horse.
Aelar's going to look around briefly, make sure no one's observing them. He's going to cast a minor illusion and show Bram and Walter how the work people were dressed, so they can use their own disguise ability if they want to.
I'll activate my what should we call it?
Your glamored armor.
Vest. I was gonna say Vest of Wonders, but I knew that
Best
wasn't
of wonders. Well, it is now.
It's not a glamored studded leather.
Yeah. So, absolutely doable. To make your armor appear, as a sort of workman's clothes. Realistically, Walter, you could just take off your overcoat or whatever. You guys are wearing you guys are wearing traveling clothes and and stuff like that. So they are, these are not necessarily difficult disguises to accomplish. They're wearing just sort of normal street clothes. If you have, so Brahm's got his armor. If you're wanting to use magic for that type of thing, you totally can. If you want to just make a disguise check to sort of accomplish this in mundane means, it's easily doable.
I'm gonna use disguise self to give myself a worker's flat cap.
There you go. Walter looks exactly the same, except he has a different hat now. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ditch my coat and obvious sword. Got a couple daggers on me, so that hopefully should be enough. And the hand crossbow, if absolutely necessary.
Who doesn't have a dagger in this city? That old lady over there has a dagger.
Look, if you don't have a dagger, chances are you're dead
you
and somebody
say,
took your dagger. Nothing, ma'am.
Yeah, she
Have a
she
nice
turns.
day.
She's like, "You mind your fucking business, buddy."
A
Puts her knife away.
Right. All right. So, priority target is the book. Targets of opportunity as you find them.
Okay.
And break some things.
And,
yeah.
And break some things.
I'll try not to break
ru-
anything that looks like it might be particularly cursed.
Yeah. Rendezvous
No
if we have
promises.
to split up. Not the Ordnum chapter house.
Hey, what was that bar we accidentally walked into the other day? Earlier.
Oh, wasn't it
The-
Dirty Mike's or something?
30 mics. We needed 30
Something
mics.
like that.
Let's meet next door to Dirty
What?
Mike's. That was a nice bar.
Yeah, they're both nice, but nice people.
I mean,
What was
I
the one
don't.
attached to Dirty Mics?
I think what was it called? Was it Dirty Mike's and the Boys?
I think the other one was called The Boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
based on the fact that you idiots named it.
So I think we want to meet
Speaking
at
of that,
3.
where's Dr. Strong fast?
Okay, so we'll meet. There in case we have to split up.
Sounds great. Perfect.
Alrighty. So you guys disguise yourselves as workmen. You kind of like slip up to the chaos of this activity, and kind of begin to try and just integrate yourself into some of the loading and unloading. So what are you guys doing? There's, like I said, there is a bunch of caravans and stuff outside that are being loaded with things. The massive double doors to the front of the building are wide open, have been propped open as people are just coming in and out, carrying things. And the stables are sort of off to the side. You see that there's like some horses in there and stuff, but you don't necessarily see any other like coaches or wagons or anything over in the stables currently.
Let me go to the stables while
Okay.
you guys hang out around here. I have an idea.
Ozrius heads over towards the stables.
Walter, can you? You can cast detect magic, right?
That's
You're-
dancing life.
Can cast
Great.
dancing lights.
No. I can't do that currently. But
need
I
the
can
one.
do. How long does this last? 1 hour. I can do this, and I'll cast ritual cast Tensor's floating disc.
No, not what we need.
What are you trying? What?
So it's a
Does
little
this help us at all, Walter?
to
Look,
carry the loot. Okay, fine.
Carry the loot you don't have yet.
You know, the average moving worker dudes have magical floating discs. That's not going to draw suspicion.
Ne-
That's not
never
going to cause
mind.
any suspicion.
Never mind.
You're right. You're right.
Look for start looking for books.
All right.
If I hadn't met your wife and children, I would leave you in this city.
They're a good family. We won't want them without a father.
Bram, if you can see if you can contrive to find out whether or not the library's been packed among this stuff. If so, find a reason to search through it. I'm gonna head inside, and if they haven't done it yet, I'll see if I can locate the book in there.
We know who's the name of the person whose house it is, right?
That Taurus Willow
Willow
song.
Song. Yeah.
Colors Willow Song. Okay, do I have to like sneak over to the stable?
I assume you guys are not doing any of this stealthily, as you are you're just blending in with like workers.
Am I blending in? Am I
I-
actually? I don't think I am. I think I have to actually like sneak over to
I mean,
the
you
stable.
can. I was sort of assuming that, like, in his natural state, Ozrius, I mean, besides being an enormous rock man, like, you're not really wearing a bunch of fancy armor and stuff. So you kind of, like...
I blend in natural, like, just like naturally.
Yeah, none of these people are really paying much attention to what's going on. Like, until you guys start, like, doing stuff,
Okay.
just like kind of loitering. At this point, you guys are sort of just like loitering around. Nobody's really paying you guys any mind.
All right. So before you guys, I guess if I'm with you real quick, before you guys head off, I will cause a distraction. Then that will be your time. Okay. I'll give you, let's say, 5 minutes.
That just
Before
should be
things
long
pop
enough
off?
for me to. That'll be long enough for me to get in.
Okay. All right. You'll know it when you see it. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Once you've done it, get out of here.
It's all good.
I'm gonna try to park Morgan like somewhere high up with a nice little overview.
You can go on the eaves of the house easily.
Yeah, so she'll just chill there. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start mingling, like pretending to help, and then trying to like look and see if there's anything that looks like it would contain books in, like, or people taking other book-like things to different carts.
Mhm.
So I just want to look around for that kind of activity outside.
Okay, so Walter's kind of mingling around the carts. Ozrius is off towards the stables, and Bram and Aelar. You guys are heading inside.
I'm gonna head inside, and keep my mouth shut and just follow workmen that aren't carrying things, figuring they're heading for a place that needs packing.
Okay. And Bram, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go over to like a fellow worker.
Okay.
Looks like he's not actively like moving to anything.
Okay. The four of you disperse. Ozrius heads over towards the stables. Walter kind of goes and sulks over and mingles in towards where some of the carts are. Aelar, you head inside, and Bram, you find a couple of guys. They're like kind of off to the side of the front doors. They're taking a smoke break. Two of them just sort of standing there. As you kind of mosey up to them, one of them turns and he looks over you. He gives you a nod of the head, and he goes, "Ain't seen you before. You from the other shift?"
Yeah. It's my first time shifting around. You guys know, I always get stuck with the real shit jobs. You guys know if they've packed up the library yet?
The one turns to the other. He goes, "Mikey, they're doing that library up in there?" And I don't think so. I think they're leaving that stuff.
Right,
It's
good.
mostly-
Makes my job real easy. I got some higher up said the schmuck who owns this house wanted one specific book because he wants to read it on the journey. So I gotta go find it.
They look at each other, and the one goes, "I don't know about that. You haven't seen him yet. Doesn't strike me as the type of fellow who doesn't let him read it, if you know what I mean."
I don't know. Maybe he wants to look at the pictures or something. I don't know. I just told him I gotta go find this thing and bring it to the guy.
He says, "I mean, good luck." He says, "If you want, I think that Willow Twigs, or whatever his name is in one of the parlors on the second floor. He's been moping around up there all day, being a real drama queen. You probably find him up there and ask him yourself if you're supposed to find something that's important to him or whatever."
Yeah, it's true. All right, I'll take a look first. If I can't find it, maybe I'll talk to the guy. I don't really like to talk to the rich types because they usually, they're usually the worst.
They laugh. He says, "Oh, brother, you telling me he is the worst?" He shakes his head. He says, "I don't know. He gets into some fight with some dame, and the next thing you know, he's moving all his shit back to the Empire."
Yeah, it's
Rich people, huh?
It's always a chick. You know?
If I could move to my other house every time I got in a fight with my old lady, boy, I tell you what. Huh?
You want to hear a story? I was working a job, like other side of town. This was maybe like 2-3 years ago. Guy finds out his wife is cheating on him, right? And he's like, instead of like going through the proper paperwork or whatever, guy casts some sort of spell, puts the whole house in a pocket dimension, and all that was left was a middle finger drawn in the dirt of the plot without one. Came home, no house. That takes a rare set of balls.
They shake their heads. And the one Mikey says, "Oh boy, I don't know anything about that type. I don't got any of that type of magic abilities. But boy, you tell me I could."
This guy was real rich.
He shakes his head. He says, "Nah, the best I can do is get real drunk and belligerent. It don't work out so good for me though." And he takes off his he's got a similar cap to the one that Walter manifested himself. He's like, "Don't work out so good for me." And he takes off his cap, and he has like a big scar, like right in the top of his head. He says, "Oh man, my wife has got a right hook like you wouldn't believe."
Yeah. Well, though the wife did get back in it. She built a bodega on the plot of land, but it's all outhouses.
Why?
Anyway, I'm gonna go look for this goddamn book.
He says, "Well, good luck to you." And then as you walk away, you hear them kind of like converse. Says, "Boy, the rich and famous, huh? Oh, what lives they lead." And you are able to head inside. So, armed with the information that Vitoris Willow Song is apparently upstairs in a parlor on the second floor, and is apparently in some sort of an emotional crisis, you head inside. Meanwhile, Walter, you can make me an investigation check as you begin to look around in the wagons.
The solid 13.
Okay. Most of what you are seeing here does appear to be trunks containing clothes. It is finery, the likes of which nobody that you know has ever even come close to like affording. There are cloaks and doublets and all manner of like capes and hats and boots and fancy like hosiery and pantaloons and tunics. There are ornate things of like jewelry, extreme amount of value like within the confines of these wagons, but it is almost exclusively in like material goods. You don't really see any books. You're not necessarily seeing anything that strikes you as like magical items per se. It is primarily the traveling of somebody who is like enormously pampered and like a huge diva.
Man, I know a pampered diva. I'm gonna try to steal one of the. Is there like obviously there's a lot of people nearby. Never mind.
There's people all over the place. I mean, like, you can make a sleight of hand check if you want to try and like slip something into your coat or whatever, but there's not really any opportunity to like get while the coast is clear.
Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you feel lucky?
Nah. I'm just gonna wander the carts and see if there's anything else of interest.
Okay.
I'm still looking for books and stuff, but I don't know that Bram has got the lead on the library, so.
Sure. Okay. Aelar, you head inside. The workmen that you are like following along with, they are in the process of kind of emptying out one of the front sitting rooms in this manor home. Some of the furniture in this room actually is being taken out. It's a lot of lounging couches and fancy like armchairs and like this big ornate divan is being like hauled out by a couple of guys. There's a bunch of like these sort of weird, ugly marble statues that you get the impression are like supposed to be some sort of like fancy decorative modern art that are being loaded up, as well as a number of like paintings being taken off the wall. One of them you see in particular is this like massive, it's like two guys are carrying like each end of it. It's like massive portrait being taken down from over a hearth that is of this young elven noble gentleman. He's sitting on top of like a horse, and he's in this like full gleaming set of like battle armor with these like massive pauldrons and a flowing cape, and there's like this glorious glamorous sword at his side, and he's like staring off heroically into the distance, like taking this painting down and carrying it out. So that is the room that you find yourself in. You do see that there's some of the other rooms on the first floor here are kind of what you would expect. It's a number of like parlors and lounges and sitting rooms and reception areas. There's definitely like a cook's kitchen towards the back, and the stairwell is off like on the other side of the house to like where the workers are currently gathering.
All right. Did I see anything that looked like a library on the way up? Or toward that room?
There is on the opposite side of the house of where you are, there's like a set of like closed oaken double doors that like you kind of the like fancy houses you've been in your day, you kind of get the vibe like if it's somewhere, that might be it.
I'll join the workers in hauling down one of the things. Like I'll help with moving down, the overstuffed armchair.
Okay.
With the plan of coming back up and trying to sneak into that closed door on the round back up.
Okay. So you begin to do that. Ozrius, as they're kind of making their way around here, you reach the stables. What are you doing when you get there? You see there are there's about 12 stalls total as you enter in through the main doors. There are currently 4 horses in the various, each in their own stall in here. Towards the end, there is a very fancy like town carriage that a noble would use to, like, if they were going to go on a ride around town, they would kind of ride in this carriage that they could comfortably get from place to place. And then all manner of like tack and saddles and bridles and all of the accoutrements that go with the stables.
Okay. Is there anybody in this stable that is not the horses?
Currently, there does not appear to be.
Okay. Well, first, before I'm going to do something, I want to check probably inside that carriage there.
Okay.
To see if like there is a book in there.
Sure.
I'm gonna do that before I start doing things.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, and why did you do that? No, that's a 5.
Look with your eyes, not your fists.
You you go to open the door to the carriage, and turns out it's locked. However, this is not a vehicle that is designed for like an abundance of security. The lock is almost perfunctory, and comparatively towards your strength, it is so perfunctory in that by the time you realize that the door was latched from the inside, it is because you have actually ripped the entire handle off the door. And so there's this sort of like as the handle comes off, and the door just goes like and opens a little bit, and you just have like a gilded handle in your hand. But you are at least able to like swing the door open, and you kind of look inside. The interior is 2 cushioned velvet like benches with plush backs facing each other from either side of the carriage. The windows have curtains on the inside that can be drawn open and closed to give the occupants privacy should they wish. You hunt around quickly to see if you can find any books or anything of interest. You don't spot anything like that. Even with that 5, the one thing you do find is under one of the seats, there is a kind of a lacy piece of cloth. And as you pull it out, we encounter a question that I do not know if I have asked Ozrius before, but is pertinent to this. Is Ozrius able to read Common?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I can read Common.
There is a monogram stitched.
Okay.
Monogram's not the right thing, right? Because monogram specifically is just like a letter, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
initials.
Yeah.
Initials is what I'm getting at here. I couldn't remember if monogram just meant that it was like a big M or something.
Okay.
But in this case, it is 3 letters, 3 runes, 3 letters in the common language. A, M, S. In this sort of like looping, very feminine
EMS.
typography.
Okay.
And you kind of like
All right.
smell the cloth a little bit. It's been like perfumed.
Oh, okay.
It smells like lilacs.
All right. Well, I guess I'll put that in my pocket, or I guess put it in my pouch, and just be
Okay.
like, if I can't find anything else, I guess I found this, and I broke something. So that's fun. Nothing else of interest in that stable then? Nothing else of interest in that carriage, I guess.
No, nothing that looks
Okay.
that looks like removable necessarily.
Okay. So
Well, whether or not it's removable is sort of a relative term when Ozrius is involved. Like for Ozrius, if you were really determined, like the benches in there are removable. Like you think you could probably get them out of there if you really wanted them for whatever reason.
I
Might
don't
make a
want
nice
the
travel pillow.
I don't want the benches. Okay. The thing is, what is this cart made out of?
Zirkwood. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't say Zircon. Don't say Zircon.
No, it does. It
It's
does
the
appear to be. It's wood mostly.
Okay.
Different parts of it are made out of different wood. Some of it is like oak. Some of it appears to be mahogany. There's some cherry wood lining the interior, like the interior paneling of it.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, can I actually place one hand on the cart and say one hand on like one of the stable poles? Like I would
Sure.
I would figure that the stable itself is made of wood. There's like wood and hay. And
Yeah,
wood
it's all
whatever.
heavy beams and stuff. Yeah, so there's
All
it's
right.
like kind of like a pole barn type of thing. So you can sort of like put a hand on the
All right.
support and
Yep.
on the cart.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate part of my Storm Soul and set it on fire.
the wagon or the barn.
Yeah, the both. Like, if I can put both of my, like, that's what I say. If I can put both of my hands on both, like a pole there, one pole and the cart, I'm going to it should just both set on fire.
Your storm soul thing is basically just like you can ignite flammable stuff, right?
Yep. As an action, you can touch a
sure.
flammable object and set it on fire.
Sure. Yeah. You reach out, and you kind of focus. You remember back to the lessons that strange, mysterious, blind hermit taught you on your mountaintop, and you reach inside and you feel the swirling currents of primordial elemental energy that reside inside your soul, and you tap into the blazing inferno, the same source from which your boundless rage stems from, and you bring that fire up from deep within you. Your like the veins bulging in your muscular arms like glow red as if like fire is shooting through them down to your hands, and the cart and this post like singe and blacken and char and then like begin to burn, and fire begins to creep up the support beam for this this carriage shed, as well as the carriage itself, which begins to like immolate from the point that your palm was pressed against it.
Okay. I want to say as soon as like it starts like raging inside, I kind of just want to like the horses then at that point should probably start flipping out, and I'll probably want to like ram myself right into like the door if there is one to open it up.
The door
like,
to the stables itself is open.
Okay, it's open.
They're like
okay, cool.
individual pens are closed currently.
Okay, then yeah.
It's probably you probably have like a kind of a minute or two here as things start to like heat up. So like we'll cut away from Oz, we'll come back.
Yeah.
But as the fire starts to spread, like the horses definitely like as you ignite the fire, you hear there's like sort of this like nervous like nickering coming from the horses begin to sense that like something is wrong. Yeah. But it's gonna take a minute to like really start to burn and for the horses start to like panic. So we have a couple of minutes here. So we will shift away from Ozrius, and we'll go to Bram. I think Bram was the first one we checked in with. So Bram, you spoke to those two individuals, and you have headed inside. What are you up to now?
I'm gonna, wander around trying to find the library.
Okay, make an investigation.
Will you roll better?
Find out. Oh, it's a nat 1.
you. Oh, here's what's gonna happen on a nat 1. On a nat 1, you are wandering around. You somehow missed that closed set of doors on the first floor, all entirely. And you end up upstairs, and you are you're wandering around upstairs. You're poking into like empty bedrooms. There's like a room that is like entirely empty currently. You enter into a room. It's not a library, but it is the first room that you find perhaps promising. It appears to be a room that is a lot of stuff is packed up. There's a lot of like boxes and crates here, but the things that you see immediately in like the boxes and crates are sort of odd, like curios, interesting little trinkets, items. You do see a couple of books. But just as you're like, aha, the like jackpot, fancy room, you are like startled from your reverie, as with your nat 1 you have failed to notice in the sort of corner of the room, kind of partially like obscured from immediate view of the door by some of the boxes and crates, there is this chaise lounge. And as you are like in this room, the door like closes behind you as you like begin to try and search. You just hear from the chaise lounge, you just hear
Hey, Dorsey dude. Good 1 sweet hips.
Oh, whoa, I'm so sad.
Dabs, sorry, I didn't know anybody was in here.
Such is my life. Cast aside. Unwanted. Unloved. Leave me, I can't bear to be in the presence of others.
You got it.
And as you turn to like go back out, he goes, "No, wait!"
Yeah, what's up?
You come around, you get a good look at him. It is an elven man. He appears to be. He still has sort of a bit of the youthful look to him. He has very like kind of long, well coiffed blonde hair. He's wearing this like silk shirt with like ruffles and frills. His whole outfit is very put together, very color coordinated. Looks to be very expensive. There's a lot of like gold filigree and splashes of like pink and purple and blues and golds. All like it's all like very bright, very like peacock-ish, and all like the most expensive dyes. And he sits on this this chaise lounge. He's stretched out, and he's sitting like this. His one hand draped dramatically over his forehead. You see, he has around in kind of contrast to the rest of his very delicate, very expensive looking outfit. He has a sword belt lashed around his waist, and there is this very like ornate looking rapier like on his sword belt. He looks and he says, "Oh, are you one of the workers that's loading my things to take me away from this dreadful, dreadful town?"
Yep, that's me. I just accidentally stumbled in here. Thought that there's a I don't know. Took a wrong turn. Your house is real big, my guy. Whatever.
He says, yes, it's a lovely estate, quaint in its own way. Nothing nearly so fancy as Papa's home back in the Empire, but it's a pleasant enough place to summer. But
I just like to point out that I hate the way you said Papa. I just want you to know that. It made me uncomfortable inside.
He says, well, Papa says the same thing to me, but it is what is in my heart. But now nothing is in my heart because my heart has been broken and shattered into a million pieces by that vicious harpy. Huh.
Well, that sucks. I'm gonna just leave you to it, my guy.
He turns and he looks at you and says, "Wait." And he looks you up and down. He says, "This terrible, filthy, rat-infested, smelling, disgusting town no longer holds any beauty for me, as my heart has been crushed. But you are clearly an unwashed, uneducated, simple buffoon, a man of the people."
Damn, didn't need to get harsh on
He seems utterly unaware that this would be offensive. And as he leans in and he says, "I have a proposition for you."
Yeah, what's your proposition for a dirty, unwashed,
Filthy was the word.
filthy? Yeah, what's the proposition,
He says,
my guy?
my heart was broken by a amoral, heartless, cold, disgusting wench of a noble.
Just
Jesus.
to move things along. Can you use less adjectives? It's really I get the point, my guy.
He says, "Very well. I will cut to the chase. my beloved Anodyne Melba Star Lily, the most beautiful noble's daughter that anyone has ever laid their eyes upon. She is as glorious as the morning sun. Her hair sparkles like moonlight. She has massive wealth to her name. She has broken my heart. And she has run off with another man.
What a whore. I don't know what to tell you.
Give him the finger guns, walk away.
Okay.
He says, I am, as you can see, a noble of incredible means and incredible good looks.
I can see one of those things.
I would be most grateful and willing to part with... He looks around and he goes, I don't know, some of this shit. As he, like, gestures towards some of the stuff in the room. If you would be willing to get even with her for me.
It's an interesting proposition. I mean, this is some cool stuff, but maybe if I help you out, you could help me out. I got this girl. She's really hot, but she's into some weird stuff. She's really into translocative magic. So if like you got any like translocative magic shit just lying around, like a book would be great.
Oh my god, I've got the perfect thing. I bought a book exactly about that exact thing.
Holy shit, no way.
Oh my, by the heavens.
Absolute coincidence.
The heavens have blessed us on this day that I, in my hour of desperate need to revenge myself upon this feckless harlot, would be besought upon by a man with a paramour with a weird translocative magic book kink. Perfect, hang on. And he like rummages into like a cabinet and he brings out, boom, slams down the exact book that you have been looking for, the Treatise on Translocative Magic Volume 3. He goes, I bought it at the auction the other day to try and impress my darling paramour. She could not have been less impressed, and not the very next night she ran off with that bastard.
She sounds like she sucks.
He says, I would happily part with this book if you would be the agent of my vengeance upon my now bitter rival, Anodyne Melba Starlily.
Yeah, what do you want to do? What do we go like shit in their corsets or something?
He says, no. You shall do the most very vile thing that one person could ever enact on another. It is a plan that I have thought endlessly on these last days.
That's a rule, is it?
He says,
I
no.
want to stop you right there.
He says, no. He says, I wish you to go to her house. And I wish you to mess up her garden.
You fucking got it, my guy.
Fantastic! He snatches up the book and he says, return to me with evidence of the destruction of Anodyne Melba Starlily's garden, and this book is yours, my good fellow.
You got it. I'll go take care of it right now.
Make a insight check before you leave the room.
I'm gonna roll a real dice this time because D&D Beyond betrayed me on that last one.
Well, give it another. Give it another shot.
Insight.
It's a 17 plus 3.
You see that he is, you had noticed his very ostentatious, very fanciful garb. He seems to be, like, quite favoring this sword that he's got on. He seems to, like, as he's, like, posing dramatically, he seems to be very much, like, trying to accentuate the, like, the sword at his hip. And as you turn to leave the room, you glance, and you look at the pommel of the sword, and you notice a gemstone set into the pommel of the sword. Gemstone that is suspiciously similar in color, cut, and appearance to the gemstone hidden in the hilt of one bullshit dagger.
Yeah, before I go, I just couldn't help but notice you wicked ass sword you got there.
He says it is a wicked-ass sword. I've decided to call it Signor Chopasso. Isn't it so cool?
Oh, that's a name. That's a name.
That's
That's a name.
that's certainly a choice. Like
What is this NPC I've created?
I don't know, but I don't know where it's
My
going.
God.
You are on a roll. This guy, the gent at the auction house.
Oh, boy. Yep. Signor Chopasso. He says, I also bought this at the auction. Anodyne said it was stupid, but she doesn't know anything! It's super cool! I love it.
I have an idea that can get your revenge and also make her look like somebody who doesn't know what she's talking about.
Oh, I love when people look like they don't know what they're talking about.
If you lend me the sword, I'll make sure while I'm messing up her gun, she also realizes that Signor Chopasso is the coolest sword.
No, you're
that has
saying
ever
it
been
wrong. It's
forged.
Chopasso.
I'll pass.
Chopasso.
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 Say it like there's a fire in your soul for the blood of your enemies. Chopasso.
Chopasso.
We'll work on it later. Okay.
It's the same. Same as you. Same as you.
Make a persuasion. I'm saying what you're saying.
Did you say make an intimidation roll?
No, make a persuasion roll.
Oh.
My God.
Persuasion. Let's see. Okay, that's better.
Rolled on D&D Beyond.
We all need
That
to watch
is
this
a
happen.
not natural 20 because it was a 15 plus 5.
Dirty 20 though.
Yeah.
He goes, As I said, I do dearly love when people look like they don't know what they're talking about, but I am loath to be parted with Signor Chopasso. Do you promise?
Chopasso.
Do you do you promise that she'll be returned to me?
Yeah.
That was not even funny.
God, what is this interaction? Go!
He says, you promise that she will be returned to me.
You bet, Bram says with his fingers crossed behind his back.
Make a deception roll this time.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good.
I hope so.
That is a 27.
Jesus.
He
17 plus
he
10.
unbuckles the sword belt and he hands it to you.
This guy's an idiot. Straight up idiot.
Okay, I'll go get the job done.
He says, very good. He says, I will give the book to my valet, Stevens. When you return, you can pick it up from him.
You got it. turn and leave.
You make your way out of the.
Oh, before I go, can I get like a note signed by you that says it's cool that I has this? They're usually not too cool about guys walking off with stuff from houses like this.
He reaches into like a writing desk and he pulls out this
I just don't want to get fired.
piece of parchment and he takes out this massive quill, dips it into the ink, and he's scribbles and he hands it to you, and you have a note written in this like violent lilac ink that says, "It's cool that this guy has Signor Chopasso," and there's like a whole bunch of like whatever the like high fantasy equivalent of like tildes and umlauts and shit over like the Chopasso part of the word. It says, "It's cool that this guy has Signor Chopasso, signed Vetoris Willowsong."
Hey, thanks, cool. I just don't want to get fired and like have to deal with like anybody.
He says, "My word is as good as gold in this town. Ask anyone." He says, go now on swift wings, as swift as the coming of
Wings?
wings. Yes, go, my agent of destruction, go now. And he like pushes you out the door.
I think I found something I want to break. I'm not even a part of that, but I feel it.
So Aelar, you're able to make your way into the library when you come in there next. You can make an investigation check if you want to look around.
Once again, that's a 17.
17. With a 17. So, obviously, you do not find the book that you are looking for. We know that Bram has just acquired it upstairs, or Bram has arranged to acquire it with instructions to the location of the star.
I can't see him as I come down, right? Is he not?
This is kind of happening while
okay.
this discussion is happening upstairs. There are a number of books. You have not met Vetoris Willowsong, but if one were say a third-party observer to this whole situation, they would be pretty immediately certain that nothing in this library was purchased by Vetoris Willowsong, or if it was only because it looked cool and should be in this library. This is much more likely to be the library of whoever Vetoris Willowsong's father or mother is. There are a lot of books on extraordinarily like boring topics, like land right agreements and historical family lineages of Ignean royalty, things like that. You do come across a book that catches your eye, is maybe worthwhile taking a peek at. It is Medicinal Herbs of the northeastern Orahole continent.
Okay, I will. Large book, small book, something I could easily.
Yeah, kind of normal hardcover book. You could definitely like huck it in a shirt or something like that and kind of hide it. It's not a massive tome.
Very quick flip through the book.
Looks like a field guide of plants. Has their sort of properties, some of their uses in various medicines, and some very minor potion making. At a glance, you figure there's probably some good botanical information here that might allow you to, were you traveling in the wilderness in a certain region, get a better sense of what plants were edible, what plants could be used to make medicines, and what things might be usefully harvestable, either for like potion or medicine making yourself, if you were so inclined, or as like something that you would be able to gather and then sell to an herbalist or something for a profit, as ingredient for their own stuff.
then yeah, I definitely conceal that. A quick check of the desk of the room, just to see if there's anything particularly valuable there, or a hidden panel in it.
Ink, quills, pens, things of that nature. It's all very high quality. It's probably probably like if you were in a position to like nick a bunch of this stuff out of the desk, you probably sell it for 50 gold or so. But it's there's nothing, no letters or documents or anything that you find in the desk.
Okay. That case, I will duck back out of the library.
You duck out of the library as Bram is coming down the stairs.
And probably my reaction is, as I see him coming
Yeah,
down
he has
the
a
stairs,
huge sword with him.
Yeah. I like do a thing where I'm like subtly be like like a let's go thing.
and I will follow right behind him. Once we get out, if I see Walter, I'm going to cast an invisible mage hand to tap him on the shoulder if he hasn't spotted us.
So as you guys head back outside, you do kind of like sort of spot Walter. Walter, you're kind of still hovering around carts and things. Sort of simultaneously, as you guys are coming out, Walter, you're sort of near the carts. There is a cry that goes up from sort of the edge of this caravan of carts of one of the workmen who has turned and spotted stables, who goes, "Fire! Fire! Fire!" And you turn, you look, and one corner of the stables is now on fire. So, quickly, Walter, you had asked before, like, there's a lot of people around, right? There's still some people around. Everybody is distracted right now by the fire. So if there is, like, something that you are looking for or wanting to, like, put your hands on, you now kind of have an opportunity to do it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab as many like rings, like a ring for every finger, a necklace, and one of the gaudy mantles. And then as soon as I get all that on real fast, I'm going to cast Disguise Self to look like my regular self again.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Yeah. Make a stealth check.
Stealth. Ooh, that's not great. 11.
Okay. As he is doing that, Ozrius, you
Yes.
are in the barn, or in the stables. It has, like, definitely caught now. You have, like, accomplished what you came in here to do. And the horses in their stalls are like kicking, rearing, like kind of throwing their heads. They're quite terrified.
I'm going to unlatch the gates, and I'm going to actually jump on one of the horses' backs.
So the horses that are in here, I said there are 4 of them.
Okay.
They're all in like their prime. There's not like an old busted horse in here. These are fancy horses. One of them is what you would here's a question. Why don't you make a survival check for me first?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Unless Ozrius like particularly knows a lot about horses for whatever reason.
Apparently I don't. I rolled a 6.
6. Okay. Then in that case, of the 4 horses, one of them is like kind of smaller and more like lithe and sinewy. One of them is like, to your eye, is like horse.
This horse.
It's just like it's like the standard horse template horse.
Be like, yep, that's a horse.
It is sort of like a dappled chestnut color. The one that is very like sleek and a little smaller is almost entirely white, save for like a black kind of like star on its forehead. There is one that is more similar to like the standard template horse, except this one is like a roan, so kind of like a reddish color, and is maybe a little bit bigger. And then there is the fourth one, is the one that even with that low check you think is maybe the one intended to like pull the carriage, as it's like Clydesdale sized. It's like huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one we're taking out of the bar.
Subtle.
That's the one we're taking.
You go down the line, open all these doors. The horses like immediately as soon as their gates are open, like bolt out, running out of the stables. Make an animal handling check on the one that you are attempting to mount.
I feel like I have something with animal handling. No, I don't.
Do you have animal friendship or some nonsense?
Let me see. I thought no. I don't have anything of that sort. Nope. Okay. Animal handling it is.
Takes in the heat of passion, Jimbo.
Okay, 13.
With the 13, yeah. So this large, sturdy-looking horse is the furthest from where you have set the fire. So is a little bit like seems to be less in like immediate terror zone of the flames. So it's a little bit more calm. Still, like as soon as you open that gate, like as the other horses are running out, this one like goes to follow and goes to like bolt off as well. You basically like open the gate, stand to the side, you like throw one arm out in the path of like the horse's neck, so that as it like runs past, you like hook the horse's neck, and the horse's momentum as it continues to run, you sort of use it to like whip yourself around, and you leap up and swing yourself onto the back of the horse, and you sort of like grip two hands into the mane as it's not wearing saddle or bridle or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just like grip two hands into the mane. You sort of like clench your legs on either side of it to hold yourself in position, and you just like come charging out of this stable atop this horse. So the other three of you, Walter, you like quickly shove a bunch of jewels and rings and stuff onto your fingers. Throw a like a day cape over your gear, and then like quickly cast your magic to like conceal all that stuff within yourself. You like turn as you see a bunch of these workers are like running towards the stable, as like out of the corner of your eye, Bram and Aelar are like hustling down the front steps of the house coming towards you, and as the three of you like converge together, 4 horses, 1, 2, 3, 4 with Oz on it, come like exploding out of the front of this stable. The three riderless horses like veer off in all wild directions. The very like small, sleek white one is like as soon as it gets out of the stable is like off like a shot across the grounds. Like it jumps over a low hedge wall and just like runs off into the property of another estate. The standard horse just sort of like runs away and then like sort of comes to a stop and is like meandering on the other side of the property. The other horse, the roan horse, like comes running and like panics as it like runs headlong into like a group of people who are running like getting buckets already, and then there's this like tussle where the horse is like rears up and a bunch of guys are like diving out of the way, and this horse kind of like runs off. And then Ozrius, as you're in control of the horse that you are riding, as you exit the stable, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I guess I should. I don't really want to like. Let's see. How far is the stable from the main house?
Probably like 100 feet.
100 feet? Is it possible to maybe like? No. I'm going to take the horse past, like past everybody outside of the big doors.
Yep.
And just like, what can I do? I guess I could.
I'm going to run toward Ozrius, like I'm trying to catch the horse.
Yeah.
And if I can get close enough to actually get a hand on him, I'm going to stealthily cast invisibility on Ozrius.
Oh, hell yeah. There you go.
Okay. Make I guess let's make it a. Well, actually, Aelar, you make a sleight of hand check. Ozrius, you make a stealth check.
I'll check.
Right. So thanks to those mitts, the better of that is a 19.
We got a 9.
9. Oh, I don't actually
roll
know
with
if that's
advantage.
Yeah, roll with advantage because you turn invisible, so you have advantage on stealth.
It's still a 9.
Still a 9. Okay. I'm gonna make some perception checks now at disadvantage because they are distracted by the fire and the oncoming horses that are going to be both against Ozrius and Walter.
I like the idea
Aelar.
that it's a disadvantage against Oz because nobody would believe a giant man on a giant horse fleeing the scene of a crime
Surprisingly,
and then disappearing in front of everyone.
No, Aelar, you're good. Your stealth check was like good enough, and you were just casting a spell. It's Ozrius and Walter. Ozrius on the horse, Walter because he's stealing a bunch of things currently.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad.
All right. Well, there was a 16 in that first batch, and then 2 7s. But I'm gonna roll the second wave here. And
all once.
Okay, so the totals that we end up with at the end of the day with disadvantage for three individual perception checks are a 4, a 7, and a 9.
Oh.
I'm pretty confident my history will show that my stealth check was better than that.
You're good, Walter. You're good.
It was an 11.
You're good.
It was.
There is a guy who is
ridiculous.
at an angle that as Ozrius is coming out of the barn, sees this huge man just turn invisible on the top, disappear on the top of this horse.
Yeah, I wasn't going to for making it so he's obviously they saw the guy. I just wanted to make it more difficult for them to be able to describe the guy.
That's fine. The rest of the people didn't even don't even see him in the first place.
Oh, okay.
One guy catches a glimpse of him and then he disappears. And at this point, I think that at this point the chaos is such and that guy is so confused that he doesn't necessarily do anything right now. There's just as you guys, as in the bedlam of this, there's definitely one guy that's what did anybody see? What? There was a man! Well, I don't... Oh, bulls! And then he, just runs to help with, the bucket brigade. So somebody does catch a glimpse of Oz, but at least in the chaos that has been created right now, that's not anybody's first priority.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to, then, scatter with the other workers, and as soon as it's convenient, vanish, as it were.
Okay.
Not via invisibility, just exit stage left.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. So in the chaos you guys have created with the checks that you've made and stuff, it is easy enough. As the fire didn't get a ton of chance to really spread. And the stables are very well built. The timbers and the roof and stuff were all regularly maintained and damped down to prevent fire from quickly spreading. So even in the couple of minutes that you guys are still kind of there, they're already getting the fire under control. So part of the stable definitely burned out. But the majority of it is probably, you figure, is probably going to be fine, and you guys are able to sort of just break away and get away from the estate here unimpeded. And as you guys do that, as you sort of like break off and head back towards the streets of Hightown here, to figure out where Ozrius rode off with this horse. We'll take a quick break and then come back in a few minutes to finish our episode tonight. So, thank you at home for sticking with us so far. If you want to take this opportunity to check out our sponsors, you certainly can. Remember, !Little Dragon and !CCG will get you links to those websites. You can check them out while we're on break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes after everybody has had a chance to stretch their legs, refresh their drinks, everything like that. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I messed with my lights in the interim while we were on break, and now my green screen's not right. So enjoy everything. Just
Welcome to the
just
orange
make
screen.
a quick fix. Hey, not as bad. There's still some like weird. Don't worry about this weird abyss behind me. We're not gonna mess with that live. Welcome back. Hey, thank you for sticking with us over the break. If you hung around, we are going to continue tonight's episode, picking up where we left off before we took a break. There, the party had just successfully sort of infiltrated the Willowsong estate. Aelar has found himself an interesting medicinal plants and herbs book. Bram has acquired on loan the magical sword that that Vatoris Willowsong had purchased at the auction, as well as a promise that if he goes and messes up a garden of his romantic rival, he can have the book that the party came here as a reward. Walter is currently ring popping it with a bunch of jewels on all of his hands and toes, all of his fingers.
God.
And Ozrius got to burn down a barn,
a
and
horse.
has a horse. You have acquired yourself a horse. So Ozrius, if you want to add a riding horse to your inventory, you can.
Oh yeah. Hoover. And
Alrighty. So it probably does not take you. I imagine. We've discussed this before. I don't know if once Ozrius like gets out of range of Aelar, if the invisibility wears off. I don't think it does.
No, concentrated spell.
Yeah, so
just persists.
Aelar is just maintaining concentration.
Actually, you guys had a plan. You guys had a plan for this in the beginning. You guys meet up at the boys, the tavern,
At the
the
Boys?
tavern that you had set. Easily done. So you guys are able to meet up at the boys. Eventually, I assume we uninvisible Ozrius, and here you are.
I mean,
all
if he
together.
takes any offensive action, it kicks off anyway.
You managed to, you guys make it off scot-free. Like no sort of alarm has been raised or anything like
Pretty
that.
sure Oz is an offensive action.
you're in offensive action, okay? Keep going.
Alright, got him. Alright, so you guys are at the boys at the tavern. Ozrius's new horse is hitched up
In the
outside.
tavern.
Is in the tavern. It's hitched up
He comes with
outside,
me.
and the four of you guys are able to reconvene.
Okay, so recap. Anybody get the book?
I'm gonna dismiss my disguise self. Just exposing all my jewelry and then just recast it again to hide it.
Okay, so that's a no.
Well, I met the dumbest man in the history of history. He stupidly lent me his sword. I'll hold it up. And also, if we go mess up some lady's garden, he will just give us the book. I struck that deal with him.
Okay, that beats me. He breaks out the book. This is a book of herbalism, possibly some potion making and stuff. Might be useful, might be valuable, might be something that either the order could use, or at the very least, might be good for us.
I mean, I can make some potions. Thing that's never come up.
I got an idea about how we can mess up the garden.
Is it magic shovel time?
It's magic seed time. You may recall the very large
Oh,
tree that,
you do have magic seeds.
Yeah. I forgot about the seeds.
so call it a little creative redecoration.
Right.
Outstanding.
If we want to go that route, or we can be.
Okay, well, Jason just left.
Oh no.
Or we can be a little more conventional.
Oh, there he is, and he probably just messed
So,
up.
choice is yours, gents. Shall we be ostentatious or shall we be subtle?
No, I'm pretty sure the guy wants us to be pretty obvious.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is an ostentatious
Then,
guy.
Let's be obvious.
well,
It's not unusual.
in that case,
All right, Tom Jones, let's get out of here.
To be loved by anyone?
God.
I guess maybe for that guy.
For that, maybe over at Dirty Mike's.
so how are we supposed to keep that sword though? Also, does
I have this, and I roll the paper that says it's cool that this guy has this. I told you, the dumbest man in the history of history.
that sword looks kind of like the.
Yeah, I know. Why do you think I took it?
You want to test it?
I mean, to be fair, even if it didn't have the same jewel, I maybe would have still tried to steal it off him. But
I mean, to be fair, if I'd seen a guy with that sword, I probably would have made the attempt myself. But all right, well, let's.
well, test it. Just do I want to test it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, I'm not volunteering,
see.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
let's find out if it works the same as the bullshit dagger.
Is Jason's thing fixed yet? Oh yeah.
I'm here.
I had to.
yeah, Jason messed it up.
I mess a lot of things up.
Sometimes
we
when
go.
somebody's the camera goes on and off again, I have to like physically go into Discord and
Yeah, there was
Maybe
like
looking at
4
the
of me for
screen?
1 second. It
diddle
looks like we're all
the
maxed out.
settings so that it goes back and puts everybody in their place.
Diddle it to put it in its place. Got it.
uh,
All right, so
gross.
I've got 1 more casting of disguise self, so I can be absolutely ostentatious. I also know what what's his nuts looks like, so I can look like him while doing this.
Yeah, but you didn't meet him. He was the. little
Give me a
worst.
quick description, or if you want to say, throw your voice while I look the part.
Or that's
Or-
definitely less. That's definitely not as complicated as me doing it. But okay, that sounds like more
All
fun.
right, in that case,
No,
I
it
will
sounds like more
hand him.
fun. No, I'll be your voice.
All right.
that sounds like more fun.
You made this bed. Now you sleep in it, Aelar.
Come on, you're the
Alright.
performer here. It's perform. Let's get it out there. Go.
All right. All right. Well, then, yeah. We'll, go have some fun, shall we?
Okay, so the plan, let me make sure I understand. Plan is for Aelar to disguise himself as Vatoris Willisong based on the portrait that he saw.
Yep.
Bram is going to throw his voice to be Aelar's voice. And
The chorus's voice, yeah.
Vatoris' voice. And Ozrius is going to use one of his remaining magical acorns to plant a tree in the gardens at the Star Lily estate.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna write a sign in Mold Earth that just says 2 copper harlot.
Excellent.
It's gonna in glowing letters right underneath the tree.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. All right. So, plan firmly established. You guys head out of the boys.
This is like 6 different hate crimes. I'm pretty
There's a
sure.
lot of weird stuff going on today. You guys head out of the tavern. You make your way back to the lift that takes you back up to Hightown. You make your way to the estate of one Anodyne Melba Starlily, as instructed by Vatoris Willisong. The estate is much nicer than the Willow Songs. And you can, as stupid as all of this is, you can kind of see why Vatoris picked the gardens as like the target of his vengeance. They are immaculately tended. They are filled with rare, beautiful, well manicured, perfectly cultivated species of flora that are likely from all over the Five Kingdoms. This garden is very likely the pride and joy of the Star Lily family here in the city. And you spot the very center of the garden. There is an area, sort of a circular area. Has a planter in the ground, a sort of a circular bed in the center of this area. There is these sort of like pergola awning structures encircling this with seating. In the center of this planting bed, there is a large sort of flowering shrub in the center here, and it is absolutely covered with these perfect large white star-shaped flowers.
I'm gonna...
Particularly recognizable as anything, or just really, really ornate?
The book, Aelar, the book.
The book!
What's the book say?
Yep. Yes, Aelar is going to quickly flip through.
You believe that this is this is probably the plant that is the namesake of this family. This is the Star Lily.
Right there. That's the target.
I'm gonna take like a big old handful of them first and shove in my bag, and then let them do what they're gonna do.
So you guys traipse into this
just like Kelly just
into this
slammed the
garden
seat down into the...
Oz, are you still like on the horse? Do you have a horse? Like, okay, so like you guys just like bulldoze into this garden. Oz is on a horse.
As soon as I enter, I cast Disguise Self to look like young
Gardner?
Lord Willowsong.
Complete with the ostentatious armor that he had in that painting.
Oh yes, yes, I am sashaying in because I haven't met the guy, but somebody that got armor like that, he is, he is. He doesn't walk. He sachets. He flouses.
He does. Yeah, he does. So Aelar walks in. He's like strutting his stuff. He's like voguing as he comes in. Oh, we lost Jason again.
God, Jason.
Swear to God.
Quit ruining everything for everybody else.
Get better internet.
You guys make your way. He appeared for a second and disappeared. Okay.
Oh my god.
You make your way into the center. Ozrius like clops in on the horse. Bram and Walter, you guys follow along with him as well. As you guys like make your way in, several people come like bursting out of the back, these like large bay windows. They like not bay windows, French doors. They like come bursting out. One of them, presumably Lady Anodyne, Star Lily, comes like rushing out. She has this like massive Victorian gown on with this huge like round framework bustle that is attached to it. There are several like attendants with her, as well as this sort of like similarly ostentatious, peacocking looking like young noble gentleman. Comes like bustling out. What is this? What is the meaning of this? Ruffians! You ruffians in the garden!
I'm gonna cast silence on them immediately.
Yes. Walter And immediately they go like,
That works.
Okay, well,
And then-
now we don't have to worry about them. Worry about Bram having to sound like what's his name.
Done.
I
Aelar is
can
going.
stop it for that. I just needed to not hear.
Say
that
it's
for
on
5
them, not
seconds.
on us.
Yeah,
they
but
can't hear
they
it either,
can't-
though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aelar is just going to pantomime, and gesticulate and look like he's saying wild stuff. And
Okay.
then he's going to imperiously draw his rapier and point to the star lilies.
When he points there, I'm going to write 2 copper harlot with mold earth and take it away, Oz.
I was just gonna shove my fist with the seed as far down as possible into that shit.
Roll a d12.
Wham! Roll a d12.
I would like to be able
Okay.
to hear their reactions.
Oh, I'll end it as soon as that. I'll end the silence spell immediately. When as soon as Oz punches it,
It's
I'll
a
end the
10.
spell.
A 2?
A 10.
10,
Oh, a 10.
and they can hear now.
Alrighty. Give me a second. Just gotta look up. Oh, Christ. Okay. Yes, sir. You rush forward. You jump off of your horse. Mash your hand deep into this like flowering shrub. Your body like crushes part of the bush. You like jam your hand down deep beneath the root system into the soil. Stick your hand in there. Withdraw, leaving this acorn inside, and then like jump back. The silent spell ends, and immediately you hear from the patio area there, you hear Anodyne Melba Starlily as she says, "I say, Taurus, you vile, disgusting, lecherous piece of garbage." She says, "After I told you I didn't want to see you anymore, instead of acting like a real man and taking things in stride, you've been a massive giant baby about this whole thing, and now you come striding into my gardens, wearing armor, with this weird man and a horse who's just punched my family bush! How dare you!"
Wait a minute, how dare you?
She points to
I'm
where Walter has written what a 2 copper harlot. She goes,
Family.
"And that is vile and sexist. How dare you? The double standard against women in this day and age is atrocious. If a man goes out and sleeps around, he's some sort of a champion, but if a woman decides that she wants a different companion, well, she should have the right to do so, and that is a disgusting slur, and you are a vile pig." And then as she's yelling this, a 131-foot cedar tree just goes.
The entire time, Aelar's just, as Venturus has just been pointing dramatically at it. And suddenly points upward as it goes up.
Is Aelar now blocked by the tree?
No, I imagine he's like off to this. This is a tableau where I imagine there's like Aelar here, and then like just a horse kind of in the area, and then Ozrius in one spot, and then like he's like pointing his sword to the tree.
Didn't
something
expect
that
that
you
down,
do?
did you?
I am going to grab Aelar and like pull him behind the tree.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna disguise myself as what's his face?
Okay.
All right, I'll dismiss my disguise.
And then I will go back out.
Here.
May I request a quick DM refresher of the man's voice?
He sort of talked like this. He was very dramatic.
Here, I'm gonna.
You know, you harlot. And I am coming here on my family's honor. And you have soiled. And this tree that I have punched with your family bush is a testament to your wretched, vile sluttery. And also, you have a dick nose. That's the guy she's with. That's right, I said it.
Thank you. 1 second. You jump out there and yell all of this. And she says, "That Taurus, you absolute shithead! I told you I didn't want to see you anymore because you kept... Oh my god, you kept going on about that stupid sword you'd bought that you'd named Signor... whatever.
Charbasso, and you put respect on his name."
She says, "Whatever, it's a stupid name. People that name their swords are stupid, and you're stupid for naming your sword that. And I told you that I didn't want to see you anymore, and I'm perfectly within my rights to do that. And I met Harold after we were already broken up, so you're just being a big, stupid idiot." And Harold is like, "Hey man, can we just, like, maybe everybody should just chill out? Like,
Go screw yourself.
it's really all."
No, suck your dick nose, Harold. Stay out of this.
All right, well, there's a lot of emotions happening here right now. I think I'm just gonna go back inside and Anodyne, when you're done, just come and find me. We'll get back to our game of Parcheesi. So no hard feelings between you gentlemen. Your
If you keep talking, I will light this house on fire.
weird horse and that guy. I don't know who that man is. You brought him. He's just here. But that's, hey, different strokes for different folks. All right, I'm gonna go back inside. Harold, by the way, again, that's my name. See ya. And he just goes inside.
You suck, Harold.
Walk on here.
and Anodyne's like looking at this like tree. She's like, "Oh my god, our prized god is absolutely ruined." Oh,
Quietly, I'm going to whisper to Walter and Ozrius, "Beat feet, guys."
Okay.
She like, as you guys like begin to retreat, she like poise. She says, "The Taurus, Hillary, Willow Song, I will never forgive you for this. A blood feud on your family. You have not heard the last of me, you dirty bastard." As you guys run away from her.
All right. Oz, stash the horse somewhere. We don't want to return with that.
I'm going to
Fine.
drop the disguise stealth.
Yeah, can I stash the horse somewhere that's like in a stable nearby?
Yeah, you guys have Henrietta and Dr. Strongfest stabled here in the city, so it's
Okay.
possible for you to bring them. I believe
Okay, cool.
you
much
guys are
gold?
keeping them at the if I remember correctly, do you have your horses, there goes Jason again. Do you guys have your horses stabled at the Twilight Royale?
I
Is that
think
where it
that's
is?
Yeah, I think that's where you
Jason's
Uh,
internet seems to have broken, and now he's on his
yeah.
phone, and we can't hear
Yep.
him. Oh,
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I can hear. We
I
can
suppose
hear you.
But yeah, if the horses are there, then yeah, I'll put them there. I'll put that
also
one there.
that'll keep people off the track, as it
Yeah.
were.
Proof return. Yes.
I've got one more cast of invisibility if necessary, but I want to hold on to it. Instead, Bram, you got a trick for making something look fancy that looks common, or making something that looks common look fancy, right?
I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Walter does.
Okay. So, why don't we make one of our, I got a rapier here. Why don't we make that look super fancy, like Senor? I'm not even going to say that name again. Yeah, we're not going to call it that. That way, you can hand that off. We get the book. Everything looks great until we get out of range. Get that taken?
Yeah. I mean, historic value lasts for 8 hours, so...
Okay, then that's
we could be,
perfect.
Several towns away, we had a motorized vehicle, but this is fantasy world without that, so we could be...
What the heck
8
is a
hours
motor?
away. Sorry, these plants seem to have a strange effect on me.
Okay, stop sniffing the plants. Let's take care of this, and
Stop
then we'll
sniffing
meet
the
up.
plants.
Yeah, we'll take care of this. Then we'll reconvene, and that's about all. We'll have the book. We'll have just about all our business for here taken care of. Oh wait, you want to talk to what's his name back in the Narrows?
I got to talk to that guy in the scab.
The Scab, sorry. All right, well, let's get the book. That way we're ready to make a run for it in case things get goofy.
It takes 1 minute to cast that, so I'll just burn my last spell slot.
So you guys disguise Aelar's rapier as it's not necessarily. It's not a spell that makes it look like the other one, but it makes it look like a really fancy, valuable rapier. We lost Jason again. Here's we'll press on here and we'll wrap things up as Jason's having a hell of a time. So you guys, you're able to do that. You distort the value of this rapier. You make this rapier magically appear as if it is like this wondrous, high value item. And you are heading back to the Willowsong Estate, I assume. Okay. You guys head back there. As you arrive, you see that the fire has been put out in the stable. Only like a part of the roof of the stable seems to have burned down before they got the blaze under control. Looks like they tracked down the horses, with the exception of the one that Oz stowed back at the Twilight Royale. And things are kind of mostly returned to normal. They're back in the process of like loading things into carriages. As you guys arrive,
I will have also stowed the Senior Chopasso
sure,
somewhere else.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah, and all the jewelry and other.
Yeah. I assume you don't roll up wearing this man's valuables. He's outside on the lawn as you guys like arrive. He's like looking at the burned portion of his stables, and he's just like, can this day get any? I'm so distressed. And he like looks to see if any of the workmen are like watching. But when he sees you guys, he immediately Bram, he like runs over towards you, and he says, huh. And he points, and you can see the goddamn tree is like visible from here. I can see it from here. Oh, she was furious, wasn't she? Tell me what her face looked like.
Do you one better? I'm gonna disguise myself as her and just start making horrifying faces.
He goes, oh, yes, wonderful. Exactly as I had hoped she would look and sound. And it was Harold there. Did you see his dumb idiot face?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
Aelar's just
yeah,
gonna
we
go with the nose.
Harold with the nose.
I'm gonna disguise myself as Harold, but like disproportionately, like a little more dick nosy than should be possible. You feel like from a regular person.
He goes, what a splendid day. This almost makes up for the fact that part of my stable burned down.
Well, you're leaving this place anyway. Who cares?
3 people spoke at once and I didn't understand anyone.
I said you're leaving this place anyway. Who cares?
He says,
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
I'm fabulously wealthy. I'll just repair it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he looks and he says, oh yes, we had an agreement, didn't we? And he says, Stevens! And this like very tired looking man comes around. He's, yeah, yes sir. And he says, my new best friend has properly, as you can see, sullied those despicable gardens of the Starley estate, and as promised, I owe him a book. He says, I believe I gave it to you for safekeeping. And Stevens, who actively has it in his hands, is like, yes. And he just walks over and like hands it to you, Bram.
Yeah, thanks.
And he turns towards Willis and goes, will there be anything else, sir? No, there will be all, Stevens. Thank you. Stevens goes off to do whatever he was doing.
I feel bad for Stevens.
And he turns and he looks, and he says, I have returned, but alas, do not see upon your personage my beloved sword, Signor Chapasso.
You do.
Well, all right. So, good news and bad news on the sword front. So,
He says, oh, I hate bad news. Give me the good news first. No, wait. No, give me the bad news first so that I can hear the good news after and feel better about it. No,
okay, so,
wait.
No, wait. I'm gonna give you the bad news first. 'Cause the
Oh,
bad news
okay,
is what
all
makes
right.
the good news good.
Hang on, wait. I need my bad news receiving gloves. Stevens!
Oh my god.
Stevens, my bad news receiving gloves!
We're gonna have an aneurysm.
Comes back. Here you are, sir. And he puts on these, like, bedazzled gloves. He's, okay. I'm ready now.
Okay. So, I tried to use the sword to make her realize how cool it was. Didn't go real well. She still thought it sucked. But, so, long story short, Signor Chapasso is stabbed into the trunk at the very top of that tree.
Oh, but I like that, but it's Chapasso.
Chapasso.
The Chapasso.
Chapasso.
Signor Chapasso.
Chapasso.
No, no, you're saying it wrong. No, listen, say it like I'm saying it. Chapasso.
Aelar is going to just, he's going to try and catch Steven's eye and be like, make your escape now. Well, he's,
I'm gonna try to cast deafness on myself and realize I'm out of spell slots.
Anyway, so it's stabbed at the top of the tree. But when we tried to make the point that the sword was really cool, she said that sword sucks. It's not as cool as the sword Harold has. So in the process, we kicked Harold in the dick and we stole his sword. Here it is.
I hate Harold, but I love that story that you just told about
Yeah, this is for
taking
you.
him
This
in
is
the dick and stealing his sword.
this is Generalissimo Cheek Clapper.
Generalissimo cheek clapper.
So that's for you. It's a better sword that we already know that she thinks is cool. So there you go. We got rid of that old piece of shit for you.
He like gingerly takes the spoofed Aelar sword. And he like sort of, he doesn't have a sword belt anymore as he gave that to you earlier, but he sort of like slips it into his silk like waist sash that he's wearing. He like puts it in. He's like, okay, be honest. Do I look cool?
I'll be real honest. That's the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
Oh, everyone, look how cool I am! And all the workers are like, yeah, we're cool, buddy.
Yeah, they're just jealous. Don't listen to anything they ever say.
Aelar will, quietly take the book and, wrap it up.
Willowsong looks at you. He says, "Well, today has been an absolute emotional roller coaster, and I need to lie down on at least 14 pillows. No less will do."
Oh,
Before you go, just one quick thing. As your official best friend,
Yes.
would it be cool if I? Would it be cool if I could borrow like 100 gold? Would that be cool?
Make a persuasion roll.
you're really gonna get 100 gold.
Oh God.
Are you doing this on D&D Beyond, please?
You want
tell
me to?
Yes. I need
Yeah.
to see this.
Persuasion.
I hope it's a crit.
Oh no, it's only an 8. It
It
was a 19 and it rolled to a 3.
If it looks like he's about to get pissed, Aelar is going to reach out and just touch his shoulder, ending.
Can I use
the
my
mind
DM's
Bucker
inspiration to get to?
If you have a DM's inspiration, you
yeah.
absolutely can.
I do.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
do.
You can re-roll.
Do it. Do it.
What was it? Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's a 14, so it's a little better.
He
Maybe just 50 gold.
you make this request, and he kind of he says, he says, oh heavens, he says, I just had all of my pocket money converted into script to transfer back to the Empire, and he kind of leans in towards you conspiratorially. He says, even if I hadn't had my heart broken by that, we shan't even speak her name anymore. Even if I hadn't had my heart broken,
Because I don't remember what it is.
he says, the hot tip is that the Empire is the place to be soon enough. He says, Father tells me that anybody who is anybody is not going to be wanting to be anywhere near any of these other 5 kingdoms soon enough.
Wait a minute.
Aelar's just going to keep a flat
Imperial
poker face,
paper?
just uninterested, but inside his mind is already starting to race.
And he says, so anyway, yes, I don't have any coin on me, but you are right. Any best friend of mine should have something to take with him. Come, and he leads you guys over to a cart. And as he's like absent-mindedly goes over to one of these carts and starts like opening crates and things, he says, yes. Father wrote me a note. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot what I call him. Papa wrote me a note. Papa sent me a lovely
There
letter
it
some weeks ago, strongly recommending that I return to the estate in the Empire. He says, you know how papas are. They're not always the most forthcoming with their the details of their goings-on or their inner thoughts, or telling you that they love you, or saying that they're proud of you, things like that, normal things that papas don't tell their sons. But yes, he did say, he said, the Taurus, you must pack up and return to the Empire early for the season. He says it is simply going to be utterly dreadful in the other kingdoms.
Are we reaching a point here for somebody?
He says, he opens his... Oh, yes, the point is... Oh, I thought it'd be lovely. I was going to... since I don't have any coin, I thought I'd bequeath you with trinkets, some of the trinkets I've collected over the course of my travels. I have a lovely array of rings and amulets and necklaces, and Creek opens a box. He goes, oh, dear. Oh, none of my valuables seem to be in my jewelry box here.
At this point, Aelar is going to tap him on the shoulder. He gets to make a wisdom save.
Okay. He unsurprisingly has a -3 on his wisdom saves. He rolls a 7. So
It's a 14.
He gets a 4.
So he's going to forget the last minute.
Okay.
And I'm going to glance at the others and be like, "We gotta go."
You place your hand on his shoulder. He goes like this blank expression for a minute, and then he kind of turns and he holds up the rapier that you given her. Generalissimo cheek clapper.
Noble
Fine.
blade.
This is what. Ever, you're in the Empire. Look up the Willow Song Nobility Estate. I would be happy to have you as my guests, as you are. Naturally, amongst friends.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Aelar's gonna bow and start backing up. Yeah.
3
No
thumbs
sky,
up,
no sky.
2 thumbs and a mage hand.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
make
just
our
leaving.
escape.
Let's just leave. I don't like this guy.
Gets back away. You escape. And so, the trials and tribulations of the Taurus Willow Song arc of our campaign have come to an end. You guys have successfully gained possession of
It's disconnected.
a treatise on translocative magic, volume 3. The tome that you were sent here in the first place to obtain. Bram also made out with a magical sword of some sort from the deal. Ozrius has obtained a horse. Aelar has obtained a rare book on medicinal herbs, and Walter has a lot of bling that we will value before next episode. I'll give you the gold amount that you can eventually fence that for. So, having successfully completed that, at least the main portion of your business here is concluded. And with that, we will too conclude tonight's episode and return in 2 weeks' time to finish your business here in Volranium as you address the issue of the goings-on in the Scab, the would-be rising slumlord Lemuel, and potential information about the Brotherhood of Artanis to be gleaned within. So, thank everybody who has stuck with us tonight for joining us in our episode. I saw How Dare You got clipped. And boy, that's one for the record books, huh? What a wild ride this has been. I enjoyed every moment of this. Thank you guys, my players, for sticking with me. Thank you at home for joining us tonight. Join us next week, same time, same place, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. The crew of the Grimm's Folly, the other half of our campaign, will be continuing their story, and then we'll be back with Fool's Errand the week after that. So, thank you again to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. If you have not done so already, please remember to follow us here on Twitch to get notified when we go live with any of our content or any of the other streaming that we do. Consider subscribing if you've not done so already. If you have not looked us up on YouTube, search us there. We have Proficiency Bonus on YouTube. All of our back episodes, as well as all of Proficiency Bonus's other great content, can be found there. So seek us out wherever we may be found. Give us a follow. Help the little community we've built here grow. Share us to somebody who might enjoy our streams. Spread the word. Do all the internet things that are typically asked of folks. And if nothing else, just keep coming back and having some fun with us on Tuesday nights. So, thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.